the Dallas Cowboys, who were defeated by the Packers 48-32
This your chance
on
right
Sunday.
here. This is where you guys cook at. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. This is where y'all
I'm happy you said that. So go ahead and throw my ass on the big screen because I got some shit to say. I got some shit to say. All year long, I heard about NFC champs, number 1 wide receiver, 12 wins. You guys want a historic season? You got it. First 2 seeds to ever lose to a 7 seed. Not once. No. Most points given up in franchise history. First team to go have 12 wins in 3 consecutive years and not sniff an NFC championship game. You have Prescott 2-5 in the playoffs. And I mentioned the definition of insanity, so I want to just break it down one more time. For 28 years, the Cowboys have done the same thing over and over and over and expecting another result. That is called insanity, ladies and gentlemen. So for all the Cowboy fans out there who want to come in here and say, oh, well, you guys lost too, you guys had a whole night to process the fact that you guys do this every year. And I didn't get to come on here and sing my divisional Cowboy song, show my divisional photo, but there was a new photo that came out, this we them boys, this is our year. And then, it all ends the same. We're all in Cancun welcoming us together, but the Packers came out and did what they had to do. They came out from the jump and got out early, and I knew if they were able to get ahead of this team, it was going to be crazy. And all I heard was, DeRon Bland this. 145 yards on 5 catches? Boy, y'all said Smitty got lucky. I don't know what Musgrave, Dobbs, and Whip did, but you call it luck, call it whatever. And Micah Parsons, you sit here on a platform just like I do, week in and week out. Say A, B, C, and D, and now you lost. Are we going to blame Dak? Are we going to blame McCarthy? They had a defensive coordinator who was up for head coaching jobs, but I bet he didn't get no calls when he called back to schedule his interview. So I don't know what he's going to do over there, but Dak Prescott is up for an extension. What are they going to do? I've heard people all day saying they need to blow it up, do A, B, C, and D. I don't know what to do, but last time I heard Uncle Manny said they were not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 15-0 at home. Damn. It's a cold.
You forgot one more stat, Kev. You forgot the Green Bay Packers got more wins in their building playoff wins than they do.
You didn't let me. I got a worse stat. The
Go
Texans
ahead, bring it again.
5 playoff wins to Dak's 4. The Houston Texans. When Cass said he doesn't even remember if he was born the last time the Texans had a home playoff game. That's bad. Everyone wants to say Dak's better than Jalen Hurts, but look at the playoff records. Weeks 1 through 17, Dak's top 5. Week 1 of the playoffs, I won't put a number on it because people are gonna say I'm a hater, but y'all can fill in that blank for me.
Wait a minute. So when were these wins? These Texans have 5 in how many years?
They have 5 since their inaugural season in 2002.
Oh my damn! Wow.
Because I know.
I had no idea.
That run to the AFC Championship game, they won 2 games. Because I don't think they were the 1 seed. So I think they got 2 games there. CJ got 1, and then probably Andre Johnson, and then 1.
And Aaron Foster, yep, damn. Holy shit.
You saw that, Shaun? That's just
what was that? That was clear.
It was a little fucking thing that popped up in the corner. I thought all of them saw that.
Little thumbs up.
Yeah, Kevin got a thumbs up.
Hit the like button.
See, man.
Yeah, subscribe.
No, nothing. All right.
How did that happen? Oh, well, that was interesting. Anyways, as we figure out where the mysterious thumbs up came from, Kaz, you want to get in on this feast real quick as the Packers beat the Cowboys 48-32?
ain't got no Cowboys fans for help either, man.
I mean, my boy Kev pretty much hit the nail on the head. Now I'm still recovering from So I'm a little lax right now, but what I'll say is this: despite what happened to us tonight, listen. We ain't go out like that. I'd much rather lose the way we lost tonight, knowing who we've been the past 7 weeks, looking very suspect, questionable, not talking big king shit like we was gonna make a run for the Super Bowl. We had a lot of Eagles fans that were hopeful, and we were saying things like we think we could. We were saying things like, and you can go all through Eagles Twitter. We were saying things like, hopefully we turn it around. Hopefully. I think we could turn it around. The Cowboys were saying that. Nah, this is the usual shit. Now we're going to the Super Bowl. This and that. Number one offense in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Dak Prescott led the league in passing touchdowns. Micah Parsons, we know he's a dog. Deron Bland early in the season had them 6 pick sixes or 7, something crazy like that.
6.
Bro, listen. CeeDee Lamb having a career year, almost snubbed Tyreek Hill of that receiving title. He caught up and he was within 20, 30 yards or something like that. I mean, what more do you want? Since Dak has been in the league 2016, I tweeted this earlier. Since 2016, the Cowboys have had multiple years where they've either been the number 1 offense in the NFL, coming into the season before anybody even played a game, 0-0, and they were projected to be the Super Bowl favorites to make it and win, having a few years a top defense in the league. Whether it was the year that Trevon Diggs led the league in interceptions at 13 or something like that, crazy year. Obviously, Micah Parsons, this was a down year for him, and outside of that, still had Deron Bland with those 6 pick sixes like I just mentioned. When you have a team that can force turnovers, even if it's just a cornerback or whatever, it doesn't matter. There is no way in hell you can't make a significant run or at least give a team a run for their money in the wild card round when you also have the number 1 offense in the league. They are notorious choke artists. And let me tell you something real quick. It ain't even the players. It's even worse than that. It's not Dak. It's not CD. It's not Micah. The Cowboys are such a bad franchise, and their fucking fan base digs them so deep of a hole. The players know that when the pressure's on and it's the playoffs, they all start to sweat. They can't help it. They know we're about to win a playoff game. This is for the fans. The fans did it to them.
Jerry Jones hyping us up.
Literally, they can't close. It would take a Michael Jordan type, Kobe Bryant type ass motherfucker on that team to go in there and say,
Patrick Mahomes.
We're going to win this shit because I said so. They don't have that guy. They never have my entire life. And I have a bet with my friend that by the time that I'm 60, that I will never see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. I have a lifelong bet with one of my friends. I will never in my life see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl that I can remember. I'm born in 91. I don't remember what the fuck happened in 95, 96, 94. I remember that shit. I was still pissing in the bed. Dallas, enjoy the fact that the Eagles got bounced. It is what it is. Nobody, we all knew we weren't going to make it the entire way. Let's be honest here, okay? If we're being real, you guys have zero excuse. Take this L, and guess what? It's all downhill from here. All down. You've had your opportunity for 8 fucking years. You will not see a better team than what you've seen in the past 8 years. You're finished.
Put me back on the big screen to respond to Jesse, please.
Oh, okay. So Kevin got it. You okay?
Hey, Jesse, man, Gary is your brother. You know where to find us. You've been watching the show for 18 weeks in the comments. You're always welcome to come on, man. It's always fun to talk shit in the comments.
Come on.
But you don't want to come on. Hey, Gary's your brother. You watch from behind Gary's computer. Grab the mic, man.
No, his computer, actually. I ain't on his computer.
See,
in his room,
hey,
Michael.
Grab the mic. Right there, you can hear everything, man. Grab the mic and get on here and say some stuff with your chest instead of clowning the Eagles.
Just for our audio-only listeners, what Brother Jesse said on YouTube is he said, in all caps, "Sorry I'm late. I was busy rewatching them Eagle highlights." And then he said, "LOL, they were really short." Well, Brother Jesse, I've seen him pop in and walk in as Gary's recording sometimes, so we might get a guest appearance from Brother Jesse coming up soon. And Dad Dent says, "I love the energy tonight." I do too. It has been fantastic considering that I haven't had to worry about a 49ers game this week, and I just get to watch the entertainment. So, Jaevon, you also have been able to just watch the entertainment that has been this week as the Cowboys lose to the Packers 48-32. But before we get your thoughts on it, Jaevon, Khalil has been very active in the comments, so I just thought I should read these off real quickly because Khalil and Jaevon have been going back and forth in a three-way message between the three of us. And Khalil has basically just been saying, "We got fucking dogs." Jaevon's been saying, "We got 7 All-Pros." And Khalil says, "Y'all better recognize Jordan fucking Love. 7-2, 21 TDs, 1 interception in the last 8 games." So I love that sample size that you have conveniently chosen to use. That Packers back, apparently, Jaevon, because that's the video that you kept posting is of Jair Alexander.
Oh, you mean this video?
Copyright. Ooh, don't do. Ooh.
Yeah, we don't want to have the whole episode taken down by YouTube.
Bro, it's as far as this game goes, Jordan Love, what I really thought was very key for the Packers to start the game, they won the toss and they chose to keep the ball. And I was like, okay, the Packers are trying to set a tone a little bit and kind of come out and hit Dallas in the mouth. They could come out and score a touchdown. That'd be huge.
Nice try.
What do you know? Jordan Love drives down the field, bing, bang, boom, touchdown. Cowboys got to respond. Cowboys look a little shaky kind of just early in the game. Could never really get the offense going. And we were hearing the broadcast say the connection between CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott was kind of non-existent. And that was literally the complete opposite of the entire season, as Kaz kind of mentioned. Having the number one offense coming into the playoffs, the high-powered offense that we've seen. But if you kind of look at the wins that the Cowboys have, it's Commanders twice, the Giants twice. It's it's the Panthers. It's a whole bunch of teams that aren't really. Yeah, the Eagles are on there. They split with them, obviously. But it wasn't really something to kind of, hang their hat over. Yes, they did win 12 wins. They won 12 games again this year. But the competition was always, when we saw them go up against, the Bills, it was 31-3 or 31-10. Or when they went up against the Niners Sunday Night Football, it was 42-10. It was like, okay, like when you guys play these teams, you guys look like freaking the Cowboys of old. But when you go up against these teams that are in the playoffs, it's a totally different story. So Dak has always had that narrative in the playoffs that he looks, Dak was an MVP candidate. Dak was named first team All-Pro for the NFC. And for him to have this performance, this abysmal performance in the playoffs, he's going to get some people fired. Like Dan Quinn.
Maybe himself.
Mike McCarthy. Is he going to get an extension? Because an extension is on the table for Dak Prescott. I'm not sure if you want to go that route. Now, when Dak Prescott first signed his contract extension for $40 million, it kind of seemed like a lot at the time. But then with the salary cap going up and up every year, it looks like a more kind of catered to his type of quarterback deal, if that makes sense. But Jerry has a lot of questions going into this offseason now. Mike McCarthy, after this performance, if they would have lost to the Packers off of, like a bad call, game goes into overtime, they lose off of a last-second field goal, maybe this might be a different story. But to get embarrassed like this at home is mind-boggling. And, Dan Quinn was getting head coaching offers, like interviews. I'm pretty sure those are going to come to a screeching halt right now. It's just, time and time again, the Dallas Cowboys prove to everyone in the world that they're mediocre. And it's like every year the Cowboys fans are, this is our year. It's the picture that we always see on Twitter, the cycle. They beat up on bad teams. They go to the playoffs, lose in the playoffs. And then we just figure out where we're at in the cycle. We always hear Stephen A. Smith. Everyone's waiting on that Stephen A. Smith video. He had one fired up at halftime. That's how bad this game was. But enough about the Cowboys. We got to get to the Packers. Jordan Love, man.
I was waiting for it.
He balled out. I always go back to my theory. You got to let him bake in the oven, man. You got to let these quarterbacks. I get that everyone wants guys to be like Mahomes. They want guys to be like Lamar. They want guys to be like Josh Allen. Well, even Josh Allen took a couple of years before he was kind of, the guy of guys. Lamar, I'd say Lamar was kind of quick. I'm not even going to lie. It took him about like a season and a half before he was like, all right, he's that guy. But Mahomes was just right off the bat. Jordan Love did it. Technically he's a rookie. CJ Stroud is, fresh out of college. I'm coming in and I'm Superman, basically. Jordan Love essentially is doing the same thing, but he sat behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation. And, he took the clipboard route. Now, Mahomes also did take the clipboard route, but Love sat for, I think, 2 or 3 years. Khalil could probably put that in the comments on how long that he sat for, but
and real quickly, I got the meme that you just described.
This is definitely the
Dallas Cowboys
that we see all the time. But Jordan Love, man, he is proving everybody wrong. And for the Packers have a system, man. You draft a quarterback, he gets you to a Super Bowl. You draft another quarterback late in the first round because you're winning so much and gets the quarterback that you currently have fired up. And, all of a sudden they have an MVP-like season and, they still get to the playoffs. But then you kind of push the older quarterback out the way because hey, this other guy's kind of waiting in the wings. And they've proven to do that for the past 30 years, going back to Brett Favre. So, and even for them to not even have an owner, they draft quarterbacks and receivers really well. This guy, Wicks, he's getting open from time to time. And Jaden Reed is kind of the guy that Khalil's been talking about that's supposed to go off, and we don't need Christian Watson, which they probably didn't because they only went 1 for 5. One catch for 5 yards because Jordan Love was getting the tight ends involved, Musgrave. Aaron Jones looked like freaking Aaron Jones from 3 or 4 years ago with 3 touchdowns. Romeo Dobbs was, getting in and out of cuts and making plays all over the field. So it's kind of by committee. They have they're the youngest team in the playoffs. All of their receivers are like year 2 to year 3-ish, year 1 to year 3-ish. And, you got to give credit to, LaFleur. LaFleur is kind of, taking the reins from, he inherited Aaron Rodgers and this, that, and the third. And for him to kind of pivot to Jordan Love and still be able to, get to the playoffs, have a 10-win season. It speaks volumes to how, well his philosophy does work. Now, he was running the Shanahan offense, which seems to work everywhere almost. If you have the right quarterback and the right system in place, it seems to work. But the Jordan Love, like the young quarterbacks are starting to take over. I saw another stat. It was the first playoff since like 1998 without Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. I feel like the NFL is in pretty good hands with these young quarterbacks coming up.
Well, Gary, I know that there's not a lot of meat left on the bone that is this game, but before we get your thoughts, I just wanted to get to a couple of comments. As It's Lee says, Dan Quinn had Zoom meetings with 4 teams today. He was out the door before the game started yesterday. I would agree with that. And Uncle Manny, your Uncle Manny, Gary says, I have had it with the Cowboys. It's been years in the making, but it's time for the Cowboys and me to have a trial separation or at least have an open marriage like Will and Jada. And so rather than
Cowboy fans jumping ship.
Cowboy fans, they're hurt bad right now. I know some Cowboy fans that were saying in the first quarter yesterday, there's more to life than sports.
Isley's a Cowboys fan, just letting y'all know right now he's an op. So be on the lookout for him. All right, y'all.
Yeah, I kind of figured that one a little bit. But Gary, what I've been hearing is Dak Prescott is the problem. Jerry Jones is the problem. Mike McCarthy is the problem. People were saying that Bill Belichick was on a flight to Dallas yesterday during the first half because it was getting so bad.
Those memes are funny when I'm walking out to the arena.
Yeah.
like a WWE commercial or walking in.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And Italy says, I ain't jumping ship, though. I'm still here. All right. Well, Uncle Manny is pondering his decisions right now. But anyways, Gary, what's the problem with the Cowboys? Because you have so many Cowboys fans in your family. So I'm sure you've been hearing a lot of discussions and a lot of people attributing the problem to a certain person. So who's the problem?
First thing, I ain't gonna lie, Kev. Jesse actually the only Cowboy fan in our family that actually always says I was born into this shit. He's actually out of all my family, Uncle Manny. They're gonna keep pumping him up. Amber, all my uncles, they're all gonna keep. My cousin gonna make a million excuses for him. Just the only one, like he said in the comments, you can put it up again, Shaun. He don't ever believe in his team. He always pessimistic. So I bet you gonna come on and he ain't gonna even help them out. He gonna talk shit with you. So I always tell him to come up in here though, and get shit cracking for us. So I appreciate my brother sliding through, get the comments stirring. And I wrote right here, Shaun, we're going to talk about the Packers too, because Khalil was right. We need to give them respect. They ran the ball down their throat, and they show that they're a better team all in all, and especially in Dallas. And so I wrote right here in all caps, I got to say, I got bamboozled, guys. I never fucking pick the Dallas Cowboys in anything. And for some reason, I wrote here, I don't know what made me think, the home record. The momentum. Is this the year? I was like, they're not going to fall off just yet. I was like, they probably might just go versus the Niners and then get their whoop ass and then fall down. Because there's no way I was picking to the Super Bowl. There's no way that was going to say that was going to happen. But man, oh man, they they surprised me on this one. Shit the bed real early. Unfortunately, there's no problem. Just a part of the cycle. Exactly. So Jesse's not in denial. That's the thing, Kev. He ain't in denial. So, I think you want someone to talk shit. We got to invite someone else in my family, like my cousin or something, if he wants some Dallas fan that's going to talk delusional again for us. But, man, oh man, like I said, I got bamboozled. The Dallas Cowboys, like you guys have it on the screen right here. It's the same old thing. Thank God I just wasn't falling into that trap when I was, picking my team as a kid. I'm always glad I never did that. And so, man, you can just, if you want to look at the game, you guys looked at the game every which way, at the end of the day, it's on Dak, man. Dak threw some interceptions early when momentum got cooking. Then, Green Bay goes scores. And then after that, momentum is all taken out the building. Like Kaz talk about, everyone and their mothers putting pressure on this team and them never living expectation. Kevin, with all the stats that I was actually starting to write down, I was like, thank God Kevin said them all because I kept hearing from every which way today. And I bet you Kevin's going to have him. And boom, I just threw the one cherry on top that I thought that was the most craziest one was, like I said earlier, Green Bay got more playoff wins in Dallas Stadium than they do. And that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And so, man, what can you say? Like, we can, like Bond was trying to go through maybe the fixes for Dallas. I don't know what fixes you got. Like Dak said, if you're going to blame McCarthy, you might as well blame me. Yeah, you're getting blamed, my guy. It's not looking good. And I don't know where they're going to go from here. I don't want to, I'm always on the player side and, the fan perspective, get the most money as you can. But for jokes, Dak, man, since you want to reconsider a contract, you might reconstruct and take less money so they can get some more pieces around you or something, because whatever they got around you right now is not going to look pretty. And I also seen, I think, who was it? Michael Irvin. Richard Sherman mentioned it today too. He was already on the ass about their next year, about their cap situation. It's not looking good because a lot of guys got to get paid and they're probably going to bounce to get the bag. So, like Kev mentioned, I think all you guys mentioned, man, it's going to be a tough one to swallow this going to this offseason to look how they should build because, Jerry Jones is getting on that back nine like he's mentioned himself in life. And I think he wants to see a W in any which way, at least knock on the door of an NFC championship game. And he had the disrespect to call this team like one of the best teams ever he's seen. Like, that's just disrespectful to him. Parsons, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, I don't want you to even see a conversation with my guy Watt because at least he shows up in every which way. He just wasn't injured and he couldn't play today, but I guarantee he would have showed up. And so I just want to hop on. We go and dig the Cowboys very far enough here. So I'm going to hop on the last second real quick, just talk about the Packers and how Jordan Love, I really haven't had an opinion on Jordan Love this year. I feel like I haven't had a strong one. I kind of just want to see what they got, Cleo, and man, oh man, they got something. It looks like, there's like you mentioned the stat. Shaun says it's parsing and piercing, whatever, time capsule you want to take. But hey, it's momentum going towards the end of the season. They're on a hot streak. He's taking care of the ball, and they're knowing what they want to go. You can see there's confidence in this team on both sides of the ball. They had questions on the defense kind of going into this one, I feel like. And that's why the Cowboys were kind of getting picked also, Cowboys being at home, but Green Bay stepped up in that. The score is so deceiving, but Dak Prescott is half of his yards. Majority, 90% of his yards are all garbage time stuff. This game looks like close, but it was, as you all know, watching this game, 27-0, something like that crazy at some point. So the Packers showed up, man. They handled business. They're playing with house money in terms of going in and out into 49er Stadium, and they ain't got nothing to lose, man. They really got nothing to lose. That's one of the scariest teams. Boom, I didn't even see that, Khalil. We on the same page right now, man. Great minds think alike because y'all ain't got no pressure. And like Khalil said a couple weeks ago, I said, what do you want? I asked him to. I remember saying, what do I want to see from this team? What do you want to see from this team? He said, I just want to get to the dance and let's see what we got in Jordan Love, give him experience. Well, you're getting him some good experience now. And man, oh man, I was waiting for a quarterback to emerge real quick in the NFC because Shaun mentioned there's so many good ones in the AFC this weekend. When we get to the next hour here, get to the prediction part of next week, it's going to be so great to see those matchups because there ain't that many great quarterbacks that I still see right now in the AFC and NFC. Now we can make Purdy as the top one, I guess, right now. But I'm glad to see Jordan Love, maybe Jordan that company. And I like how you guys both smile. Smile.
I saw that too.
And let's see, man, because hopefully he can take ahead and take the reins from Aaron Rodgers. He's not saying he's Aaron Rodgers, but hey, he's looking like, Packers fans ain't too sad what they're doing right now. I know they were mad at the situation before, but now I bet you they're singing praises of Mr. Love.